Hi, I'm Julian Barratt, and I'm playing a character called Julian in Killing Eve 2. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been great.
Can we just talk a bit more about your character in Killing Eve?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is Trudy. She's my confidant, my sort of talisman, really, if you like, for the character of Julian. Julian is obsessed with dolls, his mother's dolls. He looks after her collection of dolls as she is deteriorating. But they've become quite a large part of his life, so much so that he thinks a lot about the dolls and cares for them and makes sure they're all happy. Okay. And she's going to go over there now and watch everything and make sure that you're not naughty. Okay. Right. Yes, I'm playing a character called Julian, who has the same name as me, so that makes things easy, you know. I always specify that on set with a script, that they must always have the name be the same as my name. It's just something I like to do, you know. It's a great privilege to be part of this show. I must confess, though, I haven't seen the whole first series. You know, I've got a busy life, but I've seen the first episode when I got the script through, and it wasn't on. It's not on British TV at the moment when this is being made. So I watched the first episode, and it was brilliant. It had its own voice. It was about killers and psychopaths and murder and intrigue and all that stuff that I love, but it's a sort of, that world can be a little bit tired, and that's why I thought it was so brilliant, the writing and the comic edge to it, and it was just great. And I loved the script that I got for this episode by Emerald Fennell, which was just great. So it's just very exciting. I did an audition, and they said, okay, come do it. Because I'm terrible in auditions usually, so I was quite pleased. I usually fuck those up quite badly. So, yes. So, yes, I'm playing Julian, who is a hapless victim of Villanelle's evil plans, and she needs somewhere to stay, needs somewhere to recuperate from an injury, and so she sort of is on the lookout for somewhere to hole up, I think. So she spots me and makes a beeline for me, and I'm taken in by her act, which is a very innocent, lost girl, and that appeals to me as a character. A slightly, what can I say about him? Slightly creepy guy, but maybe a slightly controlling sort of chap who lives alone, and with the remnants of his parents' lives around him. So he's in a sort of strange kind of petrified state, in a bleak kind of house trapped in time. So he's a kind of an odd character who she preys upon. But then I can't say what happens next, really, other than it involves blood and some death and a peppering of pain. There is a lot of stunt action in this episode, and I do my own stunts most of the time. I'm well known in the industry for being one of the most physically powerful actors in Europe, actually. So I tend to do most of my own work, stunt-wise. Anything dangerous, anything physical or violent is always done by myself. But in this situation, I wasn't allowed to, just because I was too strong, and if anything, too fit. So we tried to. We got some stuntmen in to sort of do some of the stuff, and a stunt woman. But it was quite powerful to watch what they did, actually. They get a lot of... when they do a scene, the crew applauds and gives them lots of love, you know. We don't get that as actors, but stuntmen do. But it's... I think it's because it's a kind of... You see an entire bit of action happening in front of your eyes. And filming is usually a jigsaw, so it's mostly like you do a look or say a sentence and it's like lots of tiny little bits. But when the stuntmen come and stunt women, they do a kind of an amazing, elaborate piece of choreographed work for an audience of gaffers and crews and lighting departments and all these sort of people. So and it's like an incredible performance when they do their thing. So it was really quite amazing to watch. Yes, I'm quite in awe of stuntmen and women, stunt people. I mean, I was quite nervous, to be honest. You don't have to use, but I was quite nervous initially because you come into a new world of a show, and it's all up and running, and everyone knows each other, and you think, you hope you're going to fit in all right. So it's always quite nerve-wracking when you first come into an up-and-running show, sort of thing. But everyone's been great, so it's been really nice, and I'll be sad to go, to be honest. Which, yeah. So I'm trying to work out a way to get back in. Obviously, I die, spoiler, at the end of the episode. But I'm thinking by season 8, when they've run out of ideas, they'll begin to sort of explore the idea of zombies, and that is when I step back in. There's so many shows at the moment, and things have to cut through, and I think you can't do it in it looks good, brilliant visually, it's cinematic, and it's got great writing and all that, but I think there's so many shows now, and there's so much great cinematography around, it just doesn't matter, almost. And that's why I think it matters, but it's not going to set you apart from, like, there's so many shows that are shot so well. It's sort of, I find this show had a point of view and a kind of a tone and a sense of humour that was really quite brilliantly cruel and elaborate, and it's quite sort of, it's not camp, it's more sort of, I don't know, it's like it's got a very, it's got its own unique tone, I suppose. I've only seen the first episode, you know, but even from that, I think that's important, because people don't give it much more than that these days. You go, I didn't get me. There's another 50 shows I've got to watch. So it has to grab you straight away, and it sort of does. Obviously, Jodie's performance is incredible and quite haunting. She's very sort of innocent, sinister ability to do all these things. And I had no idea I didn't know she was a Scouser for a start when I met her. I realised she's a northern lass, you know, which I had no idea having seen the show, you know, so I'm from Leeds originally, but I've lost all traces of that, you know, now that I tread the boards, you know, I tried to squash that away. No, so it's been really nice to hang out with her. She's great fun. It's just been great. I don't want to leave. When I read the character, I really liked the idea of playing something not completely a comedy, you know, as well. I mean, I've mainly done sort of comedies, although I've done slightly more straight roles of late, which I I really like doing things I haven't done it before, I suppose. But it is a very funny show in a strange way, but it's sort of it's a part which is very it's slightly frightening part, which I really enjoy. The idea of playing somebody frightening and horrible and controlling and weird and obsessed and fastidious and, you know, all the things that I'm not in any way.